get our hands on this thing and see what we got.
We definitely had them all around us. I'm talking literally all around us.
How the emotions starting to set in. Unbelievable.
Down to the wire.
He's coming in. Thank you.
This week on Double Lung, we're heading to Alaska. Originally, Paul and Addison were supposed to be going on this trip, but some unfortunate events came up and they just weren't able to make it. About 2 weeks before departure, Paul called me and said, "Hey, is there any way you could possibly make it to the trip to Alaska?" So I looked at my schedule and said, "It's a moose hunt, it's all clear." I called one of my buddies who's been begging me to go to Alaska if any opportunity came up since the early days of Double Lung.
I'm Chris Butler. I met Jeron several years ago. I feel like we've got pretty close over the years. And then I get a call and Jeron tells me that Addison's not going to be able to go now.
Are you pretty confident you could hit a moose?
Yeah.
Because I just talked to Addison. He said 100%. He's out. You got the spot if you want to go.
100%.
And instantly, I was just overwhelmed, didn't know what to say. I was like, yeah, I think I can probably manage that.
Alaska means something more to him than what I even realized initially. Is he was born in Fairbanks on a military base, the whole 9 yards. So he was just pumped to get a chance to go back to where he was born.
So being that I was born in Alaska and have always wanted to go back, it was just the opportunity of a lifetime. There was no way I was not making this trip.
We took off from Ohio, had long flights obviously across the country, up across Canada and into Alaska and landed at Fairbanks. We overnighted in Fairbanks, got our tags, got our gear, any little stuff that we forgot, and then we took off from a small air service company that flies out into the remote destinations of parts of Alaska. What was pretty cool was I'm just assuming, man, we're gonna get on the plane, fly to our location, be done. But we stopped at a few other spots to drop off supplies, whether it be mail, Amazon packages, food, to some of the other communities that are scattered out through the northern parts of Alaska. So I thought that was really cool. It was kind of like a little bonus feature to the trip. Jordan met us there. He's kind of the head guide at Mountain Monarchs of Alaska. And he picked us up, got all of our gear packed up, and went over to the Ram Hole. The Ram Hole is kind of like their staging lodge. It has great features, everything. It's a nice warm place, and it's good to kind of settle in for a day before heading out to the river.
They kind of gave us a rundown of everything to expect on the trip, the way we were going to do it, how far we'd be traveling each day, how camp was going to be set up, and just what to expect from them.
I got my good buddy Chris Butler is running the camera for me. And if everything works out right, he's going to jump in on the rifle as well and get a moose. That's kind of the goal. He has his moose tag. I have my moose and bear tag, and we're just excited to get up here. It was definitely a long trip getting here. We went from Columbus, Ohio into Chicago to Fairbanks. We overnighted in Fairbanks. Got up the next morning, went over to Wright Air Services, jumped on a small plane and got over here, which is a nice little flight. I mean, it's a caravan flight, takes a little bit of about an hour. We stopped at another spot, dropped off some gear to them, some mail and all of that. So it's just really cool just being part of that. I don't think that was really on the original part of the agenda, but it's just cool seeing how these communities work because there's no access by road to where we're at right now. There's a road that takes about 30 miles from here, but then it's rivers. So until there's ice roads, they're not doing anything in and out unless it's by airplane. We're going to be here today, kind of getting our gear ready, getting all the boats out and rafts, just checking all of our gear. Kind of the rule up here is 1 is none and 2 is 1. So we're just double checking everything, make sure we're good. Get out, we're going to check the rifle, make sure everything's good with it. I'm hunting with a 375 H&H mag. Really would have loved to brought a bow up here, but due to the nature of this hunt that we're going to do a river trip, we wanted to conserve on weight, space, and it's easier. Butler and I can both shoot the same rifle easily, and we're going to try to get a lot done in a short amount of time, so it's going to be really exciting.
This segment is brought to you by Talent Roofing, quality roofing since 1987. Apple Cracker, supercharged deer feed.
So we're going to wrap it up from now. We're going to really rest up, get good meals in us, and then just get prepped up for this trip. We're going to go, I don't know, somewhere around 60, 70 miles on the river just floating, set up camp, hunt that spot for a couple of days, then get back on the river and hunt it all the way back down to this main base camp. Really excited to be here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show, and hopefully we see some good moose here shortly.
And the next morning, we packed everything up, loaded into a float plane, and headed out to the lake we were going to be departing from.
So we got on float planes. We loaded up all of our gear, which, man, it's crazy how much stuff you can put in some of these planes. We flew in. We landed up on this lake. We just landed here in the lake. We're getting our gear packed up, getting ready, getting the inflatables pumped up. We're going to be jumping on the river and heading south. We're going to do 70, 80 miles on the river, winding back down to a spot where we can get picked up. We saw some black bear coming in from the air, so that's just cool. We're seeing stuff. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. This river just winds up through up to the mountain, and there's just tributaries dumping in. I mean, it just looks absolutely unreal. It's a lot of work from this point. Our goal today is to get everything up and ready, get on the river, and start heading down. We'll probably travel for about 6 hours and get to a spot where we can camp. Then we're hunting moose in the morning. Tomorrow's the opening day, and obviously you can't hunt the day you fly in, so even if we come across a bear, we're on hold still. But once we get to tomorrow, we're going to be hunting, and it's going to be a great time. I got a good buddy Butler up here. Looks like he's about as excited as I am, because I'm absolutely jacked. This is the hunt of a lifetime. This is a dream hunt for me, and it's just awesome to be able to do it with a close friend. And it's just great that I mean, I'm very disappointed that Paul wasn't able to make the trip, but I'm very fortunate that I was able to step in and Butler was able to come up with me. So we're going to get this gear. There's a lot of work, so we're going to help the guides, and we're going to get this thing rolling. And we're starting off our first morning of moose season. We came down about 6 miles from where we got dropped off yesterday. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful river, great terrain. We set up a proper camp on the other side of this river. We just boated across. There's a pretty good hill right here that we're gonna go up and glass on. Jordan knows this area very well. So kind of what's our game plan, you think?
Yeah, so it's morning. The moose like to move, early in the morning, late at night, this time of year. And I'll just climb up, get some good elevation where we can see several miles up and down river, and there's a lot of good, backwaters, little lakes and swamps and stuff like that.
Perfect.
And just get up there, do a lot of glassing, and we'll probably start doing some cow calling.
Okay.
To start with, and see if we don't get some answers or see some action. So
very cool.
Hunt for a couple hours, see what we see.
Definitely, man. I'm super excited. You're watching Double Lung TV. Hopefully this is a great episode for you. It's about 5 o'clock. We've been up here all day glassing and just looking. We climbed up. It was approximately 9 o'clock this morning. It's been pretty slow. We haven't really seen anything, but we've had fog come in, rain, tons of wind, a little bit of everything. It's starting to clear up a little bit right now. Visibility is pretty good from everything we can see, I guess. Our game plan is to hunt this area the next couple of days. I mean, it works out really well. Our camp's on the other side of the river, and we have a really good vantage point on this side. There's a huge field. I don't know, I'm going to say from here to the far side of it's got to be a couple thousand yards. So we can see a good ways, and it's absolutely beautiful. We have mountains everywhere. You can see the aspens going up the sides, all the evergreen trees. So it's just a beautiful place. It can get cold, so gear is definitely a must in this situation. Having good gear that you can layer on, layer off. It could end up being a nice evening. The wind's slowing down a little bit. We're just looking for a good bull moose to show up and see if we can get one knocked down.
This segment is brought to you by Phoenix Weaponry, precision weaponry manufacturer. Texas Raised Hunting Products, the best whitetail deer communication sense in the industry. Bob Thomas Ford. Shop today at bobthomasford.com.
Weather broke for us. We've been just kind of rained in the past few days. So we're on the river today. We're moving down. There's a camp another few miles down the river that we're going to get to. We've been on the water for a couple hours now. Jordan and Jeremiah just took off. They just took off on a little jaunt. And Butler was thinking about going with them, but he experienced one yesterday, and he decided to stay down here at the water, shoot some B-roll, and just wait for them to get back. We've been seeing quite a few bear tracks in this area. It's definitely a good spot for moose, but this next 10-mile stretch of river is what I'm being told is the hot spot. So I'm looking really forward to it. God's blessed us with a good day today. We have sun, some blue skies. The river is absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully we can get on a good moose and then really start working. We got up at this spot, started glassing. We've only been here about a half hour. There's a couple cows and a bull just stepped out, trying to get an idea on how big he is, see if he's worth putting a stock on. Got the head net out because, man, it is just freaking crazy with mosquitoes up here. But we're gonna put glass on him and just see if we can see what he is, see if he's worth going after. This looks to be like a good bull, like he's legal. What do you suggest here, boss?
So he's on the other side of the river, so I don't think we'll probably be able to get on over to that side. We might be able to, but we might have to coax him out to the edge of the river or onto this side.
Well, now all we got to do is try to make a game plan on what we're going to do. He's with a couple cows, so whatever those cows do is most likely what he's going to do. So we're just going to make a plan and try to see if we can get on him. We've closed the distance some, and that bull's, we got his attention, so hopefully he comes on across the river. We've dropped off of this high spot we were glassing from. This bull's starting to come. We're hitting him with cow calls, some bull calls, some raking on the trees. He seems like he's hot. He's starting to move this way, so hopefully it works out. We get him across the river. We've just spent the past couple hours moving down and working in on this bull. We spotted him from a good ways away, and we called, and he started to come a little bit, and we decided to go down and push down into this opening, hoping we could call him across the river. After he hung up for a while, we decided to make our way over to the river, and we sat out at the river edge for a while, and we just couldn't get him across. It's about 8 o'clock, and we haven't disturbed him. We didn't blow him out or anything, so we're just gonna back out. We're gonna go to camp, get some dinner, and get after that bull in the morning. He's over there with a couple cows. We feel pretty optimistic he's gonna hang out and be somewhere in this general area. So we're gonna just try to get on him in the morning. And we are back at it again today. We backed out of that bull last night. It's been a rough morning. It's been raining, nasty. As you can see, the lens looks like it's fogged up. The environment here is just brutal. We got bugs just by the millions, but we're set up. We feel like we're within a half mile or so of this bull we were on last night. We're gonna try to climb into this area. We're on the same side of the river. We crossed it and just hiked in here about a half mile. So we're gonna see if we can call him out of here and hopefully kill a big bull tonight.
This segment is brought to you by Buckeye Archery Supply, Southern Ohio's premier archery and hunting pro shop. Clay Gully Outfitters, Florida's premier hunting and fishing facility. Covert Scouting Cameras for hunting, wildlife watching, and security.
So we put a stalk on this bull. He's down in these trees across this little creek. I think he's about 350 yards from us now. I'm gonna try to get him in within 200 yards and hopefully get a shot on him. We'll see how everything goes. Well, it's day 8 of our trip. We got up to where we were glassing last night. We saw a bull last night, but he was a good ways off. Once we got up here this morning, we decided to get up a little higher, and we've already seen 2 good bulls and 1 small bull and a couple cows. They're still a good distance off, a little over a mile away. It's a whole lot more moose than we've seen so far this trip. It's only about 11 o'clock in the morning, so we're gonna sit up here all day and see if we can't decide to make a move on one. Hopefully be a little successful later in the afternoon.
3 bulls and at least 1 cow. 1 good bull though, and they've been working. We've been watching them all day, so we just decided to make a move on them. We took one of the boats and floated down about 3/4 of a mile, and we're leaving it here, and we're gonna get in this big stand of timber here, which should be about even with the little oxbow lake they're on, and we're just gonna try to coax him away. He seemed to be rutting some and some bull activity, so we'll try to see if we can coax him away from that cow and come see what we're about. So it's about 5:20 now, so hopefully we can make it happen here in a little bit and get the skinning.
Guys, we're super excited. These guys have worked our butts off to try to get me a bull this week. I really feel like this is probably the best opportunity we've had so far, and I just can't tell you how excited and thankful I am for everything you guys have done.
It's been fun. It's hopefully we got a beautiful day for it too, so try to make the most of it and see if we can't make it happen.
Yep. We got to this little creek behind us, and Jordan started raking brush, doing a little grunting, and sure enough, he fired right back. He stood off on the other side here, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and raking trees and grunting back to us. And he finally started making his way through the brush into the creek, and Jeremiah told me to go ahead and take him and put a good high shoulder shot on him. And as soon as I saw him lift his shoulder, I knew it was a good shot, but it was an instant flood of emotions. Before he came through, I put my head down on the rifle and just asked Ed to lead him in for us, and he sure did. From getting to use his binoculars all week, carrying one of his rifles, and just, I know he was here with us, and really couldn't have done it without him. I gotta thank Jeron and Paul and Addison too. It's unfortunate Paul and Addison couldn't make it up here, but guys, I'll never be able to thank you enough or repay you enough for making this happen. I've dreamed about this since I was a little kid watching it on TV, and here at 35 it's came true. It's worth eating all the bugs and the beating brush we've had to do, and cold and rain and crappy weather. I can't thank these guides enough. They've really worked their butts off for us. And yeah, Ed, this one's for you, buddy.